Now to move on to step 2, this part we're going to be backing up all our Wii files just in case something happens later. And this is a must-do step. Don't skip it, it's definitely essential. So when you start up your Wii, you'll get to this screen, and if you don't get this screen when you start up your Wii, you probably don't have your SD card plugged in, but if you still don't get to it, then go to the homebrew channel, and I think if you click on home, there'll be an option to launch Boot Me. There's 2 ways to navigate in Boot Me. The easiest way is to use a GameCube controller, but if you don't have one, you can just press the power and reset buttons. To do what I'm doing, just press power, 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 reset, reset, and that'll get you to the backup. Or you can just navigate to the gears and then click on that green arrow and it'll get you to this right here. It's backing up all your Wii files, and I think it'll take about 30 minutes. That's what it did for me, but it could be shorter if you have less Wii blocks used. And just to warn you, you probably do have some bad blocks in your Wii. Those are going to show up as black squares. It's no big deal. As you can see, I had a bunch of them, and it is normal. Once it backs all the files up once, it's going to go back and recheck them, so be patient. And once you're done, take your SD card out of your Wii and plug it into your computer so we can move on. So now back to the computer. We're going to need to save the backup you just made, so go into the SD card and highlight the files keys.bin, nan.bin, and the whole Boot Me folder. Make sure you press the control key to select all 3 of those and hit copy. Now what you want to do is paste them in a safe location. You can paste them in My Documents. I'm pasting them in my hard drive, so I'll always have them just in case something happens to my Wii. And when you have those saved, you can exit out, and you're going to need to reformat your SD card. This is important, and you'll see why later. So use the same settings as before. FAT32, default allocation size, uncheck quick format, and hit OK. The reason you have to format it again is because of the mod pack we're going to be using in the next step. But while it's formatting, you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel or check out some of our other Wii videos or other videos in general. And when it's done formatting, just click OK and we're ready to move on to the next step. For the next step, we're continuing on the computer and we're going to be downloading some hack files. So look in the video description and you'll see a link to modpack.anywii.zip. Download that, it'll take about 2 minutes. You don't need WinRAR to download it because it's just a zip file, but that's what I used. Now this is a pretty important step right here, so I'm going to try to explain it as simple as possible so people don't get confused. So if you have a regular SD card that just has SD on it, then extract the files right to the SD card. And by just a regular SD card that doesn't say SDHC, I mean just look at the SD card and then you'll see what type it is. But on the SD card, if it says SDHC, it's no big deal. That just means you have to extract the files to a folder on your desktop first. So when you download them, extract them to there. Now wherever the files are, go to that location. So mine are on the SD card because I have a regular SD card. And you're going to want to locate the exe file called MD5 Summer. Double click that and open that up. Run it as an administrator if you're having problems. And confirm that. And now for this part, you want to click Verify Sums and locate the modpack.anywii file in the same directory as the exe file you just opened, and then click Open. Now it's going to do its thing and check all the files. Just make sure all of them are green and okay, and make sure you have no errors. And then after that, if you didn't save them directly to your SD card because you had an SDHC card, now would be the time to copy them over to your SD card. And if you don't do this right, you will get errors, so make sure you don't get any errors so you can move on to the Wii part. So take your SD card out of your Wii and we can move on. Okay, so when you turn your Wii on, we now need to install some WADs. So with your SD card plugged in, load up the homebrew channel. And in the homebrew channel, press the home button and launch BootMe. And when BootMe launches, something called Multi-Mod Manager should load up. And we're going to use this to install WADs. So when you get into Multi-Mod Manager, select WAD Manager and press A. Press 1 to install all WADs, and then press A again, and all WADs should be installing like they are now. There's over 40 of them, so it's going to take a while. I don't have time to show the full install in the video, so I'm just going to skip ahead. But when it's done installing, you can just exit out and we'll be ready to move on to the next step. It'll also be on the Wii, so keep your Wii on. Okay, so moving on to the next step, we're going to be downgrading your system menu to 4.1. It's on 4.3 right now, and the first thing you need to do is make sure your Wii is connected to the internet. There's no ways around this, you have to be connected to the internet. I'm setting up my connection right now. And technically, this whole step is optional. If you don't want to downgrade to 4.1, you don't have to, but I strongly recommend it. So the first thing you need to do is open up the homebrew channel and go to Multi-Mod Manager. Obviously you need your SD card in to do this. So when this loads up, go to Manage System menu and make sure it says System or Version System Menu 4.1. Your only other option is 4.2, but trust me, 4.1 is the best to have. And I'm in North America, so my region is North America. NTSC, and press yes to install. The reason why 4.1 is the best to have is because it's the highest Wii firmware that Nintendo allows you to have the homebrew channel on. Like you probably noticed on 4.3 or 4.2 you cannot have the homebrew channel, and I'm sure that's going to continue with higher versions, so 4.1 is the best.